Hello students, welcome back. In the last session we have studied about the box model, which says every element in a document may have a border, and that we have studied in the last session. In today's session we will study about background images. So an element can have a background color as well as an element can also have a background image. So by using CSS we can add a background image. To add a background image, the property which is used is the background image property, and the value for this property can be a URL of an image which has to be displayed. Now let us go through an example to see how background image property can be used. Okay, I'll open Notepad++. Okay, this is our earlier program, the earlier example program. In the same program, I'll just show you the output of this program as well. So this was the output, and to the background of this particular page, suppose if I want an image, then I can display an image for the background. And to display an image for a background, in the CSS inside the style tag, we have to define a background image for an element. As I've said, we need a background for a complete page, so we have to use a tag here as selector here as body. So body defines a complete page, so we have to apply background image to the complete page, so it is applied to the whole page, otherwise it will be applied to a particular element. So body, the property is background image colon, then value is URL of an image, so URL, so it has to be okay, URL, that's it. Then to this URL we have to send the location of our image. So right now in the folder, if you look at my top.html file, it is in the folder frames. So in that frames folder I already have an image with the name india.png. I'll just show you an image, you can see it here. Okay, india.png. I'll just copy its name. Okay, and in the double quotes I'll just paste the name. Okay, I'll save it, and let's go back to the execution, and if I refresh the page, you can see in the background we have an image now. Okay, so it is an Indian flag which is displayed as a background image here. One thing to notice here is the image is repeated in both X and Y direction. This is because the size of an image, it is very small, and because of this the image is repeated. If the size is large, an image may take a complete page or complete width and height. So image, if it is smaller than the size of a page, it is always repeated in both the direction, remember that. And this repetition can be controlled as well. How to control this repetition, that we will see now. So repetition can be controlled by using one more property called as background repeat property, and the possible values for this repetition can be no repeat. If you do not want any repetition, you can specify a value as no repeat, or you can specify repeat X. So repetition will be only in the X direction, that is horizontally it will repeat. Repeat Y will only repeat in Y direction. Okay, so let's see this background repeat property. So in this I'll just give a semicolon, and I'll declare one more property called as background repeat. To this, first I'll say no repeat, no repeat. Now I'll save it, and let us go back and refresh it. Now you can see only a single image is displayed, it is not repeated in both the directions. Okay, so if I say repeat Y, Okay, it has to be repeat y, so I'll just remove this repeat y, and if I execute it, now you can see only in the y direction it has been repeated, the image has been repeated, not in the x direction. So if you want it to be repeated in x direction, you can specify repeat x, or if you don't want, you can specify no repeat. Okay, so that is about repetition. Even there is a property called as background position property. So by default the image is positioned to the top left corner of a page, but you can relocate the image at different positions by using background position property. That can be a top, center, bottom, left or right. So if I include background position into it, I'll just say no repeat, and I'll include background position, and that is I'll specify equals to center. Okay, so now if I refresh, you can see the image has displayed at the center of a page. So you can display a position for an image by using background position. Okay, so that is about the background. We will also study today about two more important tags. These are the span tag and the division tags. The span tag is an inline container used to mark up a part of a text or a part of a document. So you can mark a part of a text or a part of a document by using a span tag. We have seen that whenever we apply the styles are applied to the complete content of an element, not to the part of a content. So that is the problem. One problem with the font properties is that they apply to the whole elements, which are often too large. So we declared some paragraph elements which often too large, and if we try to apply something, it will be applied to the complete element, not to the part of an element. But sometimes we may want to apply some styles to the part of an element, not to a complete paragraph element. So one solution to it is a new tag to define an element in the content of larger element. So inside a paragraph tag we can have one more element, that is a span element, which simply marks a location to which we want to format in the whole set of text. The default meaning of span is to leave the content as it is. Means the span tag simply means leave the content as it is, means the browser do not have any specific styles for the content of a span tag. For example, if I declare something inside h1 tag, browser has a default style for h1 tag, that is the content of h1 is always displayed on a new line, the content of h1 is displayed in boldface in a larger font size. So that is a specification about the content of h1 tag. But if I declare something inside a span tag, it do not have any default style. So the content of span tag, it is left as it is. There will be no difference in the content of span tag, or without the span tag or with the span tag. Okay, so one example is given here. P now is the best time ever, whereas best time has been included inside a span tag. Now I'll just show you how this content will look with the span tag and without the span tag. Okay, I'll just open Notepad. from this file, what I'll do is I'll just remove all other content. So this file has become so large, so it might be confusing. So I'll just remove the earlier content, and in this I'll just add a new content now, only one paragraph tag, and I'll just remove the span here from here. Okay, so we have only one paragraph tag, and the content of this paragraph tag is now is the best time ever. Now if I execute this, you can see it is displaying now is the best time ever. It has been included in a paragraph tag. And if I include a span tag in between a paragraph for best time, so I'll say span. Okay, if I save it and if I execute it, you can see there is no difference in the output, because span means leave it as it is. Okay, but the main importance of a span tag is that we can use this in CSS and we can apply any style we want to the content of a span tag. If I want to apply something to the content of a paragraph tag, that to be a part of a content, not to the whole content. Say this is the content of a paragraph tag, and if I want to apply something to only this, that is best time, I want this best time to be displayed in bold face, I want this best time to be displayed in larger font, then can I apply it? The answer is no. If I try to apply, now see, if I try to apply, if I say P paragraph, if I say font dash size colon 30 points, and if I save it and refresh it, now you can see the font size has been applied to the complete content of a paragraph tag and not to the part of a paragraph tag. But if I really want to apply something to a part of a paragraph tag or a larger content, then I can go for a span tag. Span, so span close, and in the CSS, instead of paragraph tag, I have to apply this to a span tag. Again, even a span tag may have an ID, so we may have multiple span tags in a document. Each of those can be identified by using a ID again. So we have only one here. Now you can see the style has been applied only to the content, only to the part of a content in the paragraph tag, not to the complete content of a paragraph tag. So this is how a span tag can be used. Okay, so that is about a span tag. The span tag is similar to other HTML tags, as we have seen. They can be nested and they have ID and class attributes. So span tag, it is like the regular HTML tags, and even a span can have ID and class attributes. Now apart from a span tag, we have another useful tag for style specification. That tag is called as div tag or division tag. As the name suggests, we can create separate sections in a web page, and we can apply specific styles to the sections of those of a web page. So a complete web page can be divided into sections, like I can say a top section and the middle section and the bottom section. A top section may have a different font style or different presentation style. A middle section may have a different presentation style, and the last section, that is the bottom section, may have a different presentation style. So complete document can be divided into separate sections by using a division tag. So div tag here used to create document sections for which style can be specified. Example, a section of 5 paragraphs for which you want some particular style, and then you can have some more paragraphs in a second division tag. Okay, so let us go through an example here. Now you can see I have a paragraph tag here. What I'll do is I'll just copy this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraph tags. Okay, 4 paragraph tags here. So I want to divide this into 2 sections. Each of the section will have 2 paragraph tags, because I want a similar style specification for first 2 paragraphs and a different style specification for next 2 paragraphs. So what I can do is I can include a division tag here. I can create sections into it. So division tag, and the first 2 paragraph has been included in first division tag. Okay, so this is the closing of the first division. Same way I can open any number of divisions, any number of sections can be created. Second division, which includes the next 2 paragraph tags. And each of this division may also have an ID. So I'll say ID is equals to, this is first, and for this division I'll say ID is equals to second. Now suppose if I want for the first 2 paragraphs, if I want the color of a text should be red color, and the next 2 paragraphs I want the color to be say blue color, then from the style sheet, if I apply the color, I'll just remove this span. If I apply the color to a paragraph, see, red, in this case the color is applied to all the 4 paragraph tags. But as I've said, I want the color to be applied, means red for the first 2 and blue for the second 2. Then what can be done? We have used divisions now. We have created 2 divisions, so I can apply some styles to the division as well. Or we have assigned the ID to the division, I can apply something to the ID as well by using an ID selector. So hash first, then the color colon say red. Okay, now you can see the red has applied only to the first 2 paragraph tags as we wanted. So we have used an ID selector here, and we have also used a division tag to divide it to 2 paragraphs have been divided into 2 sections by using a division tag. So same way I can say hash second, and I can apply a style to second division. Or you can even create a class selector. You can use dot class, any class. You can say you can even take a class as first, and you can apply the color here. Then class second, the color as blue. And if you want these classes to be specifically used with division, you can add a tag division also, division dot first and division dot second. Then here, if I am using a class selector, then I have to use a class here, class is equals to, for this it is first, and for second tag the class is equals to second. Okay, so I'll save it. Let us refresh. Now you can see the color, different color has been applied to the set of paragraph tags. I have only given you an example of a color, but you can apply any different styles to the sections which have been created by using a division tag. In a larger application which contains so many tags, that you can have divisions in the document. You can divide your document into separate section, and each of those sections may have a separate style specification. Okay, with this we will stop here today. Thank you.